All right, Rob. NFL.com they ranked the 5 best potential Super Bowl matchups. And number one, according to them, was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers. Do you agree with that? Or where you at on the what's to you
it would
the
be
most
sexy.
desirable matchup?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, yeah, I think we saw
I'm
Tampa
surprised.
Bay.
It sounds like you want to say no.
No, we saw Tampa Bay last year. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, sure. Would it be if the Bengals had some amazing run and Joe Burrow's the young hotshot quarterback and they come out of nowhere? Could that be exciting? Joe Burrow, he's the next Aaron Rodgers or that kind. You know what I mean? Like yep. That could be good. We already know what Kansas City is. They've been there. Is Kansas City getting stale? How many years in a row if they make the Super Bowl?
This will be three.
Yeah,
three, which is a rarity in and of itself.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. So for them to make it, but I could see where people would do that. We thought we were going to have not a great, it could have been, but obviously the Chiefs were banged up on the offensive line. Patrick Mahomes got no points, which is mind-boggling, and it wasn't a good Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we didn't really get to see like what that could have been. That could have been. Remember, before that Super Bowl, people were talking about the passing of the torch if Mahomes would have beat Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Like the storyline could have been epic in that, and we didn't get it. So I could see why the poll would say Kansas City, because this would be a chance of them getting back and not being in the situation that they were. And I think the Aaron Rodgers story is compelling. Just everything he's been through, trying to get back to that second Super Bowl, the back-to-back MVPs if he wins this year, which it looks like he will, and all those other storylines, sure. I think
the guy, and really, Rob, Rodgers is viewed by many as the best thrower of the football we've seen.
Yeah.
You can't say he's
not
the GOAT,
accomplished.
But a lot of people say that, right. Mahomes is a guy that people view as the heir apparent to that. Like some have said he's already, some have said, obviously, like you said, not the most accomplished. And I haven't said this, but I've seen some say he is the greatest quarterback they've seen. I've seen that on TV, like ex-coaches.
Really?
And yeah. Now, they're not saying he's the GOAT. There's no way you can be the GOAT with one Super Bowl in this early in your career. But they're just saying that. So I think that is a big part of why NFL.com said this is the most desirable Super Bowl. You made a great point. Last year we had Brady and Mahomes. And you're thinking, okay, the GOAT and the guy that I and many others have said could become the GOAT, has that type of potential one day. And it didn't live up to it. So ultimately what you want is a great game. No matter who, look, if freaking Tennessee and the not the Raiders, but Tennessee and the Rams or Tennessee and the Niners somehow run to the Super Bowl, it's going to be exciting. And I think it'll be an interesting, if it's a good game where they score some points,
right? You're
going to be into it. Like, that's what you want more than anything, Rob, is a good game. Because here's my thing. Like, for storylines, I don't know. I don't think you could beat Tampa Bay, New England. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Mac Jones.
No, that would be
storylines.
Right.
It would be so the week leading up to the Super Bowl, Rob, I think it'd be great. The hype, the discussions, Brady versus all of that would be great.
I
right?
I
don't think the game would be any good. I think it might be close, but I think New England, just like they did when Brady made his first trip back to New England, it wasn't a great game.
No, it wasn't.
I think they'd be able to
all.
slow down their offense, and then Mac Jones can't produce enough offense yet where they would put up a lot of points. So I think it would be a low-scoring game. I think Tampa's better. Maybe they would. But the bottom line is I don't think it would be exciting. You know what I'm saying?
I
It
don't
might
have
at
any.
the end because it would be close, but ultimately I want a great game, not just good storylines leading up to it.
I don't have any statistics, any numbers, anything to back up this opinion. But I think there might be a segment of the population, football fans, who are tired of seeing Brady. And I think that's maybe why they didn't pick Tampa again, and didn't pick – because Brady had a great year, Chris. It's not like he fell off or anything.
You think that may have played a part in
I think there's some
MVP and All-Pro and all that?
No. I'm talking about wanting to see them in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Like NFL.com. You're talking about NFL.com.
Yeah. I'm talking about that. Okay. The fatigue of – like, didn't they – NFL.com, wasn't that based off of fans?
Rob G, was this based off fans or was this just their opinion at NFL.com?
No, this was one columnist's opinion.
Oh, okay.
And he went, Rob, with 5 scenarios. And I think this has to be the case. He didn't want to name any team twice. So here are his teams. Number 1, Chiefs versus Packers. Number 2, Patriots versus Bucks. Number 3, Bengals versus the 49ers.
Bengals, 49ers, really?
Yeah. And like I said, he had like
You're
I
a little
think people
thin
would rather
right there
see
for me.
People would rather see Bengals versus Packers,
right?
Or Bengals versus Buccaneers because you get Burrow versus Brady or Rodgers,
right? I think that him against one of those older quarterbacks.
Even Stafford, if he runs through the NFC, I mean, you want to see 2 gunslingers, I think, and Jimmy G's not a gunslinger. 4 was Bills versus Cowboys. Like, I think the Cowboys-Bengals, I think Cowboys against anybody is going to be exciting. Titans versus Rams. So that's his opinion. And I think there might be a little Brady fatigue out there, Rob.
And let's be honest. Seriously, last year's Super Bowl, Chris, was the lowest rated Super Bowl since 1969.
Yeah, and that's stunning considering
you had
Mahomes against Brady and Brady with a new team. Obviously that was during COVID. Wasn't everything down, Rob G? Weren't the ratings for everything down?
But here was the other part. It also received a rating below 40 for the first time since 1990.
40 million,
so
right?
40.0. Yeah.
No, the rating system is different. So
right, but at 40 because it's more than that. But 40.0 is the rating number, right, Rob G? The first time
correct.
since 1990.
It had 91 million total
year?
viewers.
Oh, 91 million.
Yeah.
That's God, that's crazy. That is what.
But I think
of the country.
You would have thought that would have been going in. Should have been like we said, like one guy turning over or passing of the torch. Could the young Buck beat the veteran guy? It's interesting.
You're right. You would have thought that'd be huge.
And Rob, Chris, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Rob, to your point, just look this up. There have only been 2 Super Bowls since 2010 that had under 100 million viewers. Both of them involved Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I mean, he's in most of them anyway, so it's kind of
right.
But that's what happened.
No,
what was the other one?
The other one, of course, you could have guessed this one. Patriots Rams.
That 13
that was a horrible
last
game.
2.
Yeah, that was a horrible game.
Rob G? What you as a Raiders fan and just not really not caught up on Brady so much, but are you tired of seeing Brady?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
as a Raiders fan, what about just a plain football?
As a football fan, to me, if I'm gonna see somebody that often, I need to be blown away by their abilities. So, watching LeBron in the finals, I never got tired of it because LeBron is fantastic. Even if I didn't like him, he was great. Brady, I can see 7-yard out routes and checkdowns all game.
But he's doing different than that in Tampa.
Yeah,
Bay.
In Tampa. But it's like, if as a football fan, watching Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes is so much different.
No, right.
When they're operating and they're slinging it 60 yards into a bucket, and you're like, wow, I don't see that very often at all. So
I would agree with you.
They're more entertaining to watch.
I agree with you for most of Brady's New England tenure, other than when they had Randy Moss. I would agree with you. I don't agree with him in Tampa. He's throwing it downfield as much as anybody in Tampa. And he's got now they got some injured guys, but I think I've seen we've all seen a different Brady, obviously, in Tampa because it's a different system in offense. But I think he's more exciting now in Tampa than he was in New England. So I would say, he threw it more than anybody in history. They're going to throw it, and they're not just going to throw it a little check down.
Well, it's interesting to see what they do this postseason because last year they got rolling when they stopped chucking it like that all
when
over
they
the
ran
field.
the ball.
It was a run the ball and play action like he was doing in New England.
I mean, Fournette got going. Yeah.
Yep, no doubt about it. So this will be interesting as we play it out.